And this persecution, that's been on my life for all these years and all this time, prolonged crisis conditions. I could, for anybody, that I don't know, that they didn't really understand, I could put it in a better perspective with another parable, and it's just like, say, for example, if somebody, say if somebody bought a new car or something, and, they ran down the road or something, and somebody just run into them, okay, so, they go through all the paperwork, everything, they get the car fixed, or they get a new car, and it's like, okay, so all that's behind them, they riding down the road again, then somebody hit them, somebody run back into them. Okay, now, it becomes a pattern, imagine it becomes like a pattern. They've gotten 20 cars, or something, 20 or 30 cars in a row, and it's like every time they try to get situated, it's like it's a witch hunt on them or something. It's weird, It's like somebody's out for their vehicle, and after the 30th time, you realize that these are not isolated events. You feel me? And that's kind of like the situation is. So, so about the 40th time it happens, the person, is past the point of, of course, probably long before that, point of civility and things. So, it's to the point where you don't even have, the time, because say if you realize that there's a pattern to it. So you try to start, pursuing justice, and so as you pursuing justice, it's still happening, you drive into the legal place, and then it happens again, you feel me, before you even get there. So, it's past the point you don't have time, to consider, hospitals and things like that. It happens in such quick succession. You get everything situated again, you go into the hospital, or you got to drive yourself, because now at this point, it's taking up, toll on the rest other aspects of your life, so it's like, things are getting tight. So, you drive to the hospital, see if everything, just formality, and it happen again before you get there, at this point, it's like the 50th or the 60th, 60th time, in a row, and you back flat broke, and now the structures have known since the 20th time, that something is weird, because you informed them, so that's how the situation is. It's like, it's weird, it's like you invested, into yourself, and that happens all the time, every time, and you can just imagine for long after the structures were made, the structures were aware of the crimes, and that it's not isolated. You're a regular person, so you got no choice but to abide by the, parameters, legal constraints and things like that, So, but you see the situation just compound indefinitely, with no definitive end to it, and so you see the situation, and, it's a lot more technicalities I could explore, but I'm just pretty much trying to, put perspective of like the basic, fundamentally like what it really is. Like, that's it's a weird situation. Yeah, man. Persecution on my life is way past anything, all normality. It's like totally different level. And jealous artists, structures, shamelessly, sabotaging my life. Now, I made for years, really. So it's to keep control over a person's success arbitrarily, to ensure that their impact don't become, or their influence don't become too great. Well, mine was for God. So they really just, destroy themselves. Because without God, there is no progression.